sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept your winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass,
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 25 in season number 9 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway in the United Kingdom for the International 401 presented by the Motor Racing Outreach. Gonna be 55 laps of action around this 1.479 mile racetrack in Colby, United Kingdom. It's gonna be a very, very interesting race here as we have 4 unique corners, but it's not Indianapolis. It's much different than that, and this has been a track on the schedule since season number 2. A lot of these guys, especially the veterans, know it, but outside of that, not many people see this racetrack anymore. Of course, obviously in real life the track has shut down, and unfortunately this may be the last year we go here, but either way, going alongside Matt Zuck, season 5 winner of this race. With this race being in the chase, that messes everything up for a lot of guys because it's such an unpredictable racetrack. We tend to see a lot of wrecks here. How do you think it's going to play out for all those chase drivers here today, the Rockingham Motor Speedway?
Well, it should definitely be an exciting race here today once we drop the green flag, obviously. You know, very interesting track. It's a lot like if you mixed a twin ring Motegi with a Walt Disney Speedway, so it's definitely one of the more interesting tracks, but it's always made for interest in racing, so it'll definitely be fun once we drop the green.
It definitely will be. Of course, 42 drivers in the field, including our last winner, Carter Friesen, who won as an unchartered driver last weekend. He's still an unchartered driver, still had to race his way in, and he managed to do so yesterday in unchartered qualifying, and he'll be starting in a decent position inside the top 15, I do believe. So watch out for Carter Friesen. Once again, you go 2 in a row as an unchartered driver. That would be unprecedented. We rarely see that out of the full-time guys, but for an unchartered guy to make that happen, that would be something else. But either way, the main focus is, of course, on those chase drivers. This is how they line up in the point standings. Nathan Baird, your points leader, 2,140 points towards the championship. Heritage Arvin Alonso has had a very good start to this chase. He's 10 points behind. Silas Orta is 18 points behind. Then Salmon Oskin, 24 points behind. Alexander Rowe, defending winner of this race, 32 points behind. Mark Davidson, 44 points behind. Ryan Durrani, 45 points behind. Shane Lake is also 45 points behind. Bradley Ream is 52 points behind. Jesse Turner, 56 points behind. Fisher G, 70 points behind. Reagan Whitlock, 87 points behind. With 6 races remaining in the season here in Season 9 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And we are going to get these guys to roll off here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Mitchell Henderson with the pole position, won the pole yesterday in qualifying. He'll be starting alongside Salmon Oskin, number 83, highest chase driver starting in the field. You got Thomas Troxel, Cameron Garlington in row number 2. Patrick Smith, Nathan Stapleton make up row number 3. We got Zachary Fitzwater and chase driver Fisher G alongside him in row 4. How about Sedell Motorsports? 8th, 9th, and 10th in qualifying yesterday. Sam Adio and Miller round out the top 10 for that team. Silas Orta came into this race 3rd in points, starting 11th. Great opportunity for Orta. Alongside our last winner, Carter Friesen, right there. There's Nathan Baird, your points leader, starting in the 14th position. Other chase drivers, Shane Lake midway through the field. Alonso also midway through the field, but on the outside, alongside another chase driver, Ryan Durrani. Bradley Ream a little bit deeper, along with Reagan Whitlock, Mark Davidson, and defending winner of this race, Alexander Rowe and Jesse Turner at the back of the field. Matt, you've won this race before. You know how to get it done. Who do you think's got the best car to get it done here today in the International 401?
I'm going to say we're going to see another chase upset here, and I think it's going to be Equan Haslam in the 64 is going to win his sponsor's home race.
We're going to have to see if he can do that. He won Homestead earlier this year. Anderson Racing, they're based up in the Scandinavian area. International 401, these international guys might have a good day today. We'll have to see. The American Mitchell Henderson leads us to the green flag alongside the Swede of Salmon Oskin. But it doesn't matter on the racetrack. They're all going to be going for that race win. Green flag in the air in the International 401. And lap 1 will be led by Mitchell Henderson at the line. Bonus point towards the championship for him, even though he's not in the chase. Those points do still count. Sam Oskin fell back initially on the outside lane. He's going to get around Thomas Troxel there for second, and Cameron Garlington in fourth. One of the best runs he's had so far early on in this race, but still a good run for the 34 team. And Patrick Smith there in the number 30 to the inside. You got Fitzwater here, you got Sam Adio in the back, but these top 5 have pulled away a little bit. And there goes Sam Oskin. Oskin knows it's a huge opportunity for him to possibly take the points lead heading into Michigan next weekend, and he's going to get a run to the inside of Henderson for the race lead here on lap number 3.
Yeah, that 83 car looking strong here early on in the going. Wanted to jump out to the lead there and get that clean air, and he's already out there taking full advantage of it here.
Henderson's going to fall back to the 4th position. Here comes Cameron Garlington on the back bumper of Thomas Troxel there for second. Fisher G got really loose off of turn number 3 right there to the inside of his teammate Nicholas Samadio. Samadio with a good run on the outside of him. And you got Zachary Fitzwater there in between all of those guys. There goes Garlington looking to the inside for second. Cameron Garlington looks to have a pretty fast race car here today. We'll have to see if he can do anything against Sam and Oskin for this race lead. But Oskin, a 3-time winner this season, all on 1.5-mile racetracks. Now this is technically a 1.5-mile racetrack, but it's much different than the ones he's won on this season. This one flows so much differently than all those other traditional cookie-cutter 1.5 miles, and we're going to have to see if Oskin can get his 4th. And technically, his home race, as I mentioned, comes from Sweden. This is going to be a big deal if he can win this one here today, especially in the chase. But Cameron Garlington's been a long time since he won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Season 6 Daytona 500 over 3 years ago. We'll have to see if he can get American Motorsports another race victory here this season.
Yeah, that team altogether has definitely had a pretty good past few months here since the summer kicked on here, and they've definitely clocked off a few wins across the board. But the 34 is looking good here. 83's rolling. Sam Oskin, he's just rolling through his corners a little bit better than the 34 is, and that's what's keeping him out front here so far. But and not to jinx it, obviously, knock on wood here, but surprisingly clean so far. Usually I feel like there's a caution by now, but so far they haven't.
Yeah, knock on wood hard. You got your driver there running in 3rd, Thomas Troxel, 2-time winner this season, but 40th in points somehow. It's been a really goofy year for your guys. Of course, Shane Lake has done an excellent job, 3 wins on the season. Didn't get a good start to the chase, but has rebounded nicely, and we'll go through the field and take a look at our chase drivers. You got Fisher G there running in the 7th position. Of course, Fisher G 70 points off the points lead, so not looking too good for him in the championship. 3rd highest guy is Shane Lake in the 15. A lot of these other chasers have fallen back. Shane Lake currently 17th. You got Orta in 18th. Ryan Arani there in 20th. None of those guys got good runs. Nathan Baird, our points leader. The way they are currently running right now, I believe Oskin would take the points lead away from Nathan Baird, as Baird has fallen all the way back to 24th. Bradley Ream up to 27th. Alonso in 30th. New driver in the field, Ethan Lewis in the number 6 machine. First ever start in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it's probably one of the most difficult racetracks. And you got Mark Davidson right behind him, number 95. And he is midway through the points in the chase right now, but he's 32nd on the racetrack. Reagan Whitlock 34th on the racetrack. And this is what we're talking about right here. The slide off of turn 1. Ace Garcia almost got in the Mark Davidson right there. It is an extremely treacherous corner, and that's where we tend to see a lot of the accidents take place. There's Jesse Turner in the 77, and Alexander Rowe, defending winner of this race. They must not have the setup on that car correctly, because he is currently the last chase driver in the field, last driver in the field right now. Unfortunately, Trey Barto's final time out here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And we missed the pass for the race lead. But hey, I'm paying for Premiere. I'm using it every time now, so you saw that in the corner of your screen. But new leader, it's Cameron Garlington, number 34, 3rd different leader of the International 401 here at Rockingham.
Yeah, that 34 car, like, we were talking about it. I don't know what exactly happened to that 83. I assume he might have just got a little loose in the corner and slid up there, but going to be interesting to see here. Obviously, these top couple guys are still kind of separated from the rest of the pack. But I mean, if you look back there, you got the 47s coming in. Or yes, the 47, the Henderson still there. And you got Fisher G, Fitzwater, and Keegan Thompson starting to work his way up there. So it's starting to close in up front here early on and going to this race.
Bit of a gap between Keegan Thompson and then 9th place Nicholas Samadeo. Nathan Stapleton rounds out the top 10 here. There goes Faden looking to the inside of Stapleton for position. And outside of Sam and Oskin and Fisher G, as we have another battle for the race lead. Thomas Troxel going to take it away there from Cameron Garlington, 4th different leader of the race. Oskin's going to get a run back on Garlington, and Patrick Smith may be able to make a 3 wide entering turn number 2 right here. Can't quite get the run right there, and Garlington will clear on the outside of Oskin. But these guys are all over the place when it comes to the chase, and they're all over the place in the back of the field as well. Silas Orta, good run, all things considered. Shane Lake does continue to fall back in the 15, but Orta, who came into this race 18 points behind Nathan Baird, is currently in a position to gain a lot of points on Nathan Baird. Nathan Baird has fallen all the way back to 32nd. That is not good at all for the points leader. Alonso has surpassed Baird. That is exactly what Alonso wants to see. Alonso's been holding all right. He started in the 24th position, currently in 26th. But Baird, he started in the 14th position, I do believe, and he's fallen all the way back to now in the 31st position. Not a good day right there for Nathan Baird so far. We're still early on in this race, however. It's going to be interesting if he can hold on and have a good run here today at Rockingham. Thomas Troxel continuing to lead with Cameron Garlington right behind him. And this is a big moment for you guys. If Troxel wins, 6 wins on the year for Velocistar Racing. And I believe that would be more than, or tied, I believe, with any team in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in the custom era. You may want to double check me on that. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago, and can't exactly remember what the exact number is, but still, you guys have been winning races left and right this season. We'll have to see if Troxel can get another one here. Garlington, 34th, a run, looking to the inside, and it looks like he's going to get it right there. A lot of great racing going on around this racetrack, and knock on wood, we're still green flag racing here at Rockingham. Some good stuff here in the International 401.
Cameron Garlington there, though, trying to not make it caution-free. Powered through that corner, almost took out the 35 there. Now Troxel's going to get loose here, get up. Everyone looks like he's going to get by him, but it's interesting. I'm not sure what happened to Fitzwater. I think it's Fitzwater and Thompson got completely ditched by this group of cars. Top 5, or top 6 or so, just completely took off and separated from the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for Zachary Fitzwater, the number 9 team. 22nd in points for Fitzwater, but he really has not contended for any wins this season. But, he's got an opportunity today. Of course, it should be a one-stop race if things stay green. I don't know if we've ever had a Rockingham race go green this long to start off. So it's a little bit interesting here. This is a bit of uncharted territory for these guys. We're going to have to see how it all plays out. Oskin is moving his way back through the field. Almost got the bumper on Garlington off the corner. I mean, I've been seeing these guys come really close off of turn 1, and we've seen in past years that turn is treacherous. Those guys slide up, and into the inside wall they go. It's a pretty hard hit. It can be rather spectacular at times. And they've come close a few times in this one so far, but they've yet to do it. So hopefully it stays that way. But Garlington remains out front. Number 83 machine there. Sam and Oskin still in second. Oskin is doing his job right here, staying in this lead pack. With the way all the other chasers are going, Fisher G's really not a competitor at this point to Sam and Oskin. But with the way all the other chasers are going in this race, Sam and Oskin's going to gain a lot in the number 83 machine here if this run stays for the Handle Racing Enterprises driver.
Yeah, let's take a look here. You got a lot of these guys up here obviously are big-time gainers here, but G and Oskin would be the biggest gainers because obviously they're in the points. I don't know if Fisher G has a real shot of winning the championship, but Sam at Oskin absolutely is loving what he's seeing because he doesn't have anybody who he came into this race close at in points is now nowhere to be found.
Silas Orta here, who was ahead of Oskin by 6 points in this race. Currently in the 18th position. He just lost the position there to Ryan Durrani. So Orta, he'll lose time on Oskin. And so will Nathan Baird and Alonso, the way this one is rolling right here. Alonso in the 26th position. He's been stuck there pretty much this whole race, but no doubt about it, the biggest loser is Nathan Baird. Last chase driver in the field is Bradley Ream. And then you got Nathan Baird there in the number 16 machine, continuing to fall back, now in the 40th position. And now, with that, that's going to open this championship right up for the rest of these guys, because you're going to have Alonso, you're going to have Orta, and you're going to have Ozkin all jump Nathan Baird in the points. And if that's the case, this thing's going to be tight between those 4 guys. And those 4 guys have been some of the best 4 guys all year. I think Orta is probably the biggest dark horse of those 4, but it's looking pretty good for those 4. And we could have a 4-way battle for this championship here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Not quite halfway through this one yet here in the International 401. It is a bit of a slower pace, 1.5 miles, about 33-second lap times here, but it is flat, so they do have to slow down through the corners a little bit more than they do at other 1.5 miles. And Cameron Garlington, though, has figured it out. Continues to pace this field here, but Ozkin right behind him. We'll have to see if he makes a move for the race lead here anytime soon.
Well, I mean, if you're Ozkin, though, I mean, you just have to kind of be, you don't have to do anything right now, because obviously I'm sure some of these guys thought we would have had, as I say that, he decides he wants to take the lead again, but I mean, usually by now we have at least 1 caution, and if the other thing to keep in mind too, I don't know exactly when pit stops are going to be, but with the rate these guys have paced out, I mean, it's not unreasonable at this stage of the race that depending how the pit stops play out, I mean, we may not see a yellow. You know, I mean, obviously a lot of these guys are spaced out now, and when you get guys spaced out, it's harder for them to wreck.
Good point made right there. Of course, you mentioned the pit stops. They got to manage the pit stops correctly without wrecking, and this is a difficult place to come in and out of pit lane. I'll say that much. The entry is pretty good. You got a lot of space to enter there off of turn number 3, and as a matter of fact, that's exactly what Garlington is going to do right now. So it'll end up being a 2-stop race, as we have about a 22, 23, 24 lap fuel run here. That's really going to make things interesting. We haven't had too many 2-stoppers this season. I actually thought this was going to be a 1-stop race, but it will definitely be a 2-stopper here. Garlington is down. Same with the 5 of Keegan Thompson, Nicholas Samadillo, and Nathan Stapleton. I think these guys are going to be in an advantage. Tire wear is very significant here. Here comes Ozkin, Troxel, Smith, and the rest of the drivers coming down the pit lane. John Art's going to stay out in the 05 machine. We'll have to see if he gets a lap lead here. But this is really going to cycle things out, and we're going to see new faces up front, and we're going to see faces who were up front fall to the back of the field after this one. Got to remember, Nathan Baird last on the racetrack right now. So it's going to be interesting to see where he falls in to the picture after all this. Garlington is done with his pit stop, and he has cleared everyone who came down with him. Solid stop there for Cameron Garlington in the number 34 machine.
Yeah, that 34 car, that was exactly what he needed there. Okay, now it's just going to be a matter of not getting caught by lap trap. Well, more importantly here, because we saw this at the Nashville race in the Body Armor Cup Series. More importantly here is a caution not coming out while everyone is down pit road or a lap down, because that would just throw a wrench into this racing, as I say that.
Tight one there through turn 2 as these guys come off, and Ozkin is actually going to jump Cameron Garlington on the racetrack. Good job there out of the 83 machine of Sam and Ozkin, holding on to the race lead ahead of Cameron Garlington, Thomas Trussell, Patrick Smith, and now Fisher G. And given that they beat everyone who is currently on the pit lane, which they may not, Garlington getting into Ozkin there to the inside off of turn 1. And it almost looks like Henderson here, number 47, may jump these guys. And this is something we don't usually see here at many racetracks, but it seems like the later you come down, the better of an advantage you get. I think Mitchell Henderson is going to have the advantage. Of course, Garlington is coming with a full head of steam to the inside. And at the stripe, it'll be Garlington leading that lap ahead of the 47. Mitchell Henderson, though, is a lap down. So I'm really sorry, Stuart, to get your hopes up there, but Henderson has fallen back to the end of the field there, currently in 38th. Fitzwater, McMillan, Ronnie Durrani, and Tristan Allen all going a lap down after that cycle, but they're all mixed in with the leaders right here. So that's really going to make things interesting. But Cameron Garlington, what a run there off of the pit strategy, and he's going to go back to the race lead here in the International 401. Nathan Baird and the 15 of Shane Lake. Deep in the field, 36th and 37th. Not the best of runs for those guys. I'm wondering, we may have had some strategy play, and that might be why Henderson and those guys are a lap down at this point. Same with Ryan Durrani. Tough break for Durrani. Came into this race 45 points behind. Still within a shot at winning the championship, but this run's going to really hurt him in that regard. So, when it comes to chase drivers, we're going to go back through the field for the chasers. Sam and Oskin still in second. Fisher G now up to 5th. Great run for Fisher in this one. Next chase driver in line looks to be the 92 of Reagan Whitlock. Back in 20th. Then it's Jesse Turner in the 77, 21st. Mark Davidson. Alexander Rowe in 24th. He actually gained a few positions there off of that cycle. Alonso in 28th. Silas Orta lost a lot of ground there. He was around 17th when that cycle began. He's currently 27th. We got Bradley Ream there. Back in the field in 33rd. Then we mentioned Shane Lake in the 15. And points leader coming into this race, Nathan Baird. It's been a disastrous day for him. And Shane Lake, issue on the 15. He's coming back down the pit lane as we got another battle for the race lead. There goes Sam Adowskin to the point here at Rockingham ahead of Cameron Garlington. Lap 39 of 50, or should I say lap 29 of 55. Next time by 26 laps to go. Here in the International 401 presented by the Motor Racing Outreach. Still green flag here. We've yet to see a yellow here. The Rockingham Motor Speedway.
I mean, at this point, given we're through one round of pit stops, I mean, I don't see, realistically here, we probably could expect this race may go flag to flag here, which, given the history of this race, would actually be quite impressive. We've never seen that here before.
With all the runs these guys are getting here, I'm surprised they haven't wrecked yet. Patrick Smith gonna go bold to the inside, and they're 3 wide off of turn 4 there. Oskin now falling back. Here comes Smith and Troxel. And 3 wide here through turn 1. This could really get dicey. You got McMillan there in the 79. I will say, I think they've been holding the inside off of turn 1 a lot better this year than they have in prior years. Of course, McMillan is a lap down. Same with Mitchell Henderson in the 47. I think they want this race to stay green, because if it does, then they may have played some strategy to get him back on the lead lap. Well, it's just going to have to see how that plays out for him. Nathan Baird, 36 right now. It's been a tough race for him there for Baird Motorsports, and I'm looking at Sam and Oskin possibly being the new points leader, but if he continues to fall back here, who knows who it's going to be, because you got Alonso, who currently is in the 26th position, Silas Orta in 28th. They're the next 2 guys in line, and they're not having good days either. Neither of them will actually surpass Baird the way they're currently running. Actually, Alonso could surpass Baird, but Orta can't. But, it's Oskin's day. All Oskin in that number 83, getting the advantage on the rest of the chasers here at Rockingham Motor Speedway. And Patrick Smith. We've missed a lot of battles for the race lead in this one so far. Patrick Smith, new race leader here, the International 401. Last win was Road America last year. We'll have to see if he gets his 3rd Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory here today.
Well, this is getting interesting. I mean, you have a lot of non-chase drivers up here looking to spoil this party, and don't look now, the whole field is starting to close back in a lot. You've got Thompson, Stover, I don't know where Nathan Faden, that 12 car came from, and as I say that, Troxel's looking down the inside.
Oh, yellow on the racetrack. We got a caution here at Rockingham. And it looks like it may have had to do with Jeremiah Duane, number 67. I see damage on his machine. And it looks like we had a wreck in turn number 2. And that is go. Wow, how about that for Mitchell Henderson? He was ahead of the race leaders. He raced his way back on the lead lap. We don't see that very often here in NR 2003, but it just happened right there with Henderson. A huge opportunity for all these guys to come down, take their final stop under the yellow flag, and then it'd be a race from here on out. Huge opportunity for Patrick Smith, Thomas Troxel, Sam Adowskin, Cameron Garlington, Fisher G, all going for this race win. And a huge opportunity for guys like Nathan Baird and those guys to maybe play some strategy and get some track position here in this one, because, I mean, what do you got to lose if you're Nathan Baird? You're 36. I don't think anyone else can really pass you on the racetrack. You might as well go ahead and try and see what you can get out of that one. But either way, 21 laps to go right here as they cross the line. Patrick Smith, your race leader. Thomas Troxel, Sam and Al's going to tap 3. Let's see who wins the race off the pit lane. We could see some strategy here on this last pit stop.
2 tires so far.
2 tires for Patrick Smith. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires for some guys, though. Cameron Garlington, one of the few guys, I think, going 4 tires, and he's going to lose a lot of ground. But it's all over the place on the strategy here. There's Whitlock and Davidson coming off the pit lane. There is Turner in the 77. And Alonso deep in the field in the number 28. But we'll have to see if the 2 tires ends up working out for some of these guys. See damage on Bradley Ream's machine. One of the chasers getting involved in this accident. A lot of damage there on the 40. Gonna have to see what happened. We really don't know who was involved. I saw some damage on Jeremiah Dwayne in the 67, but outside of that, didn't really see anybody else other than Bradley Ream. Your race leader is Patrick Smith. Nathan Faden pulled some wicked strategy to put himself in second. Then Fisher G, Thomas Troxel, and Salmon Oskim, the top 5. John Arndt is 6th. Brad Stover, Fitzwater, and Allen are a lap down. Carter Friesen is going to move up a few positions. He's inside the top 10. Garlington did not lose as much as I thought he did. And then you got Nathan Staplin also inside the top 10 for NS Racing. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here in the International 401 presented by the Motor Racing Outreach at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Well, we knew it was going to happen at some point. The turn 1 slide, and Matt Dallio, one of the most experienced drivers in the field, is the culprit. Slid up in the Diego Yepes, and hate to say it, that is 100% Dallio's fault right there. Got in the Yepes. It's kind of interesting. 2 of the international drivers right there. Dallio, Canadian, and Yepes from Venezuela. Like we mentioned in qualifying, a lot of international drivers here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and Matt Dallio is getting sent around. And thankfully, you know, this is one thing we see a lot here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. These guys, they get sent off in turn 1, but then turn 2 is not too far ahead, and they come back up on turn 2, and these guys ram right into them. That did not happen, thankfully, and Dallio was the only one involved. We don't know where Bradley Ream got his damage. I'm wondering if he hit someone on the pit lane when they were doing pit stops. That's going to hurt Bradley Ream. Of course, Ream came into this race 52 behind. It's probably going to be more than that at the end of the day, but tough break there for Matt Dallio, number 75. Almost made the chase, and now he's unfortunately sitting 28th in points and probably going to fall back further after this one.
So you just watched Dallio there, just drove it in, and then tried to take out Yepes, and didn't work out for him. Completely totaled that race car, and slides back up into the track. Well up to turn 2 wall, right on a bullseye there. So great shot for him across the field, but tough race here for him. Just overdrove that corner, and he's going to end up taking the most hit from it there.
No doubt about it. Tough break there for Matt Dallio, number 75. Sure, you'd like to see that more out of our team in the IndyCar series.
Is it the 75 or the 79?
It's actually the 79. Marty was the one who drives the 75.
Well, in that case, we want to see both. We want to see more of those cars wrecking just all together.
Oh, boy. And IndyCar coming up 1 p.m. today from Pikes Peak. So, under 3 hours, got more racing here on Napa Fan. Looking forward to that one. But we're looking forward to this one as well. Patrick Smith, your race leader here in the International 401. Let's see if he can get his first win of the season there for Anderson Racing here in the 25th race of the season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are back here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway in the United Kingdom. It's the International 401 presented by the Motor Racing Outreach. Going to be a very, very fun race here because we don't have to worry about pit stops. I know that for a fact this time because the fuel window was 22 to 24 laps. We came down with 21 laps to go, including all the caution laps. If they have to come down at the end of the race, this game is broken. And there are times where this game is, in fact, broken. But we don't have to worry about that, thankfully. Patrick Smith is the race leader. Nathan Faden is second. McMillan in the 79 is a lap down. Fisher G in third. Thomas Troxel in fourth. And Sam and Oskin rounding out the top 5. And you got John Arndt, Brad Stover, Carter Friesen going for 2 in a row. Cameron Garlington took 4 tires. And the 97 of Nathan Staplin rounding out the top 10. Here we go. Lap 38 of 55. Back to racing in the International 401 at Rockingham. 79 McMillan trying to get his lap back. We saw what happened with Mitchell Henderson when that caution came out. He was ahead of the race leaders when it happened, but Friesen is not going to... Oh, Friesen with an issue! Number 12 with a problem. I think he really had to check up there off of turn number 2. And he is... I don't know. Something happened to him. They're surpassing him all over the place. This could stack him up. Patrick Smith is out of here in the 30. Fisher G is now second. Friesen looks like he's back going again. He must have almost spun the car around in turn number 2 and then had to check it up right there. That was a very strange moment there out of your driver.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with that car. Obviously, it seems to be fine now, but you know, there's a reason this 12 number is being buried next season. It's just, it's not it's Michael Canto ran it last year, and he started good, and just the luck fell off so quickly, and then never came back. And then Nathan Friesen this year, just no luck for this 12 car. So we're burying that hatchet next year, and we definitely won't be seeing this 12 car return.
Friesen gonna get up in the Fisher G right there. Fisher G is currently the highest chase driver in the field right now. I mean, it doesn't really mean that much in terms of the championship since he is 70 points behind. Oh, Ryan Arani, who is a lap down. Keep in mind, a few of these guys are a lap down, like McMillan in the 79, like Durrani in the 68. John Arndt's on the lead lap. It's been a tough season there for John Arndt and that team at King Arndt Family Racing. Of course, their other cars have been doing a lot better, but John Arndt just hasn't found the speed this season. The all-time winningest driver on Apafam has yet to get a win this season. Brad Stover there, number 99. Unfortunately, Tristan Allen is a lap down in the 06. And yeah, Carter Friesen going for 2 in a row as an uncharted driver there in 7th. Keegan Thompson in 8th. Garlington just whipped right by Eli Bright right there. And I don't know what happened to Samit Ozkin. Ozkin's got a problem. Major problem on the 83. He's fallen all the way back. And now this is going to open up this championship battle yet again. Nathan Baird in the 16 is currently in the 29th position. Ozkin fell all the way back to 24th. I don't know. Oh, another yellow on the racetrack, and that might have been why Ozkin had fallen back. We got Eli Bright with damage, Nathan Stapleton with damage as well. Oh, and it looks like LJ Sameto also got caught up. Nathan Baird in the 16 may have gotten a piece of that one. Oh my, Silas Orta with heavy damage, and Diego Yepes as well. Wyatt Quayle. Oh, what a disaster right there. I do not see, one driver I do not see on the racetrack anymore. This may have also possibly taken out Hergel Larvin Alonso. That'll be a big one in the championship. I do not see him on the racetrack anymore. And he has officially retired. Alonso's out. Silas Orta is out. This is huge for the championship. Baird is still out there, the points leader, and Samit Ozkin as well. But both Orta and Alonso had huge opportunities at surpassing Nathan Baird in the points here today. They're going to lose points on the 16 at the end of the day here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Patrick Smith, Nathan Friesen, Fisher G, Thomas Trossel, and John Arndt is the top 5. A lot of guys looked like they were taken out in this one here at Rockingham.
Big winner, those Fisher G.
Yeah. Good run for Fisher G, and he'll actually get an opportunity at the race victory again here. And, you know, he's 70 points behind, you know, it's had a lot of tough runs so far. Turner, though, is a guy, he's 56 behind coming in. With all the issues everyone else has had, you know, he has a good run here, has a good run in Michigan, has a good run in Watkins Glen. You could see him right up there in the championship battle if he can keep a good run going. He's currently 12th. I mean, he's dodged a lot of bulls today. Same with Mark Davidson. Davidson 44 points behind. I think both these guys are going to get shot back into that championship picture at the end of the day. Ozkin, I don't know what happened to him, but we may see that here soon on what happened to the 83. Either way, it looks like it was a big wreck there. We're going to have to see how it all went down here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. We're going to be under 10 laps to go when we restart. But first, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the second caution of the day here in the International 401. Well, Yepes had this happen to him a few laps ago. Now he's the culprit in the crime. This one ended up a lot worse than the Dalio incident. Yepes. Actually, no! I am wrong. I am very wrong. It was Stapleton's fault. Stapleton was the one who slid up in the Ozkin. That is what happened to the 83. Ozkin was inside the top 10 when that occurred. That's going to hurt him in the point. And Yepes, he's the guy you got to watch out for here. Hard into the inside wall. Man, Yepes, he's just been completely screwed here in this one. Hands down. And, you know it was bound to happen at some point. Brett Sierra, nowhere to go. There's where Alonso gets his damage. Number 28 sideswipes the 88 machine, and then Silas Orta as well with heavy damage. Wyatt Quayle in the 39 also gets caught up. Great driving out of Ethan Lewis and all these guys on the apron. Jeremiah Dwayne came in there and plummeted the 39 machine. These guys stack up just a little bit, but they all slow down in time where there isn't any major damage, thankfully. As a matter of fact, Dale Lightning in the 38, along with Fitzwater, Alex, and Earl, they split those guys. Barrett had to check up in the 16 to avoid Brett Sierra. We've seen much worse here before, but that was a bad one, and in terms of the championship, that is huge. Both Alonso and Silas Orta are going to get knocked out after this one here, and Ozkin and Baird are still out there here in this race.
And just watching them coming down the front straightaway here. Obviously, the 34 and the 83 are side by side. The 88 goes down there. Yepes. And then I guess I don't know what Stapleton was doing. I guess this is why I don't know. I don't know what he was doing there, but Yepes just got totaled there. Now, I didn't see, was Alonso already off the track?
No, he got sideswiped right there.
Oh,
That damage right there, that was from him hitting Yepes. Brett Sierra going to be knocked out. Hey, Baird actually took a shot right there from Alonso. That's, I don't think that was intentional. I think Alonso's trying to get to the pit lane, but very interesting that he hit Baird of all people. That might slow the 16 down and keep him from getting a few extra points in this one. I'm going to go on board somebody. That deserves an onboard. We'll go on board probably Yepes here on the 88 machine. He got sent to that inside wall. Let's see how it felt for him in the number 88. On board the number 88 of Diego Yepes. To the inside of Stapleton. Stapleton clips Ozkin, and there's nowhere for Yepes to go but the inside wall. And at this point, he's just along for the ride. Right there, Brett Sierra. Such a tough break for all those guys involved. And the number 88 of Diego Yepes, his day will end right there. That's the second time he's been hit off of that corner. Tough way to end the day for Yepes. Tough way to end the day for a lot of guys. We'll check in and see who got knocked out and get you lined up for the last 10 laps of this race here in the International 401, presented by Motor Racing Outreach. We are back here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Patrick Smith in a great position to get his first win in over a year in this series. Last win came Road America last year. And he currently sits 38th in points. Been a tough season for this Anderson Racing driver, but Patrick Smith, a veteran of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, looking to get his first win of the season. Nathan Faden is second. Of course, McMillan is still a lap down. Fisher G is third. Durrani is a lap down as well. Thomas Troxel, John Arndt, that is the top five out of the race. And you'll see it here. Not as many as we thought, actually. Silas Orta, Diego Yepes, Sergio Larvin Alonso, Brett Sierra, and Jeremiah Dwayne. A lap down include, of course, McMillan and Durrani and Tristan Allen, along with Zachary Fitzwater, Shane Lake, and LJ Cemento. Everybody else is still on the lead lap. Kind of surprising considering how big that wreck was. Here we go. 10 laps to go in the International 401, and a huge jump from Patrick Smith there on the restart. Faden might get a run of McMillan here. He's going to have to get around him right here if he's going to have a shot at Patrick Smith for this race victory, I think. Here we go to the inside. Faden will have the run to the inside of McMillan. You get the Ronnie there. Lap car to the inside of Fisher G. That's what Faden wants to see.
McMillan bogged down that start there. Ooh, 12 slides high. He's going to clear him. Patrick Smith loves everything he's seen in his rearview mirror right now, though.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Here comes Fisher G, though. He was able to get around McMillan as well. That number 7 looking pretty fast. Looking for his second win of the season. Won in Martinsville back in May under the lights. He's trying to get to the inside of Faden, but Faden will shut the door on him and remain in second. Got Troxel and John Arndt moving their way through the field. Great run for Brad Stover. John Arndt had to check up right there, and Stover might have a run on him. Carter Friesen to the inside of Stover. just zooms right by him there through turn number 3. But back to the race lead. Friesen looking to close in on Patrick Smith for this race lead. We'll have to see if he can close in time. It is at the stripe. 8 laps to go here in the International 401 presented by Motor Racing Outreach. Patrick Smith, Nathan Friesen, and Fisher G going for this race win.
Now the question's going to be, is there... This doesn't necessarily apply to this racetrack, but if you make a move too early here, this is definitely a racetrack. You can make your pass back. So you want to make your move. You don't want to make it too late. You don't want to make it too early that, say, you give Patrick Smith, if you're the 12, you don't want to make it too early that you give Patrick Smith or even Fisher G or Thomas Troxel if he gets into the mix. But we're going to have to see here. This is going to get really tight. And that 68 car, I get trying to get your lap back, but somebody needs to get him out of the way because he can't interfere with this.
We'll just have to see. Ryan Ronnie, of course, he wants to interfere with Fisher G, help and hurt him in the points. So there's a bit of motivation right there. And Nathan Friesen closing in here. He's the only guy on your team full-time that hasn't won yet this season, and a massive run there through turn number 4. He actually had to check up. That might bring in Fisher G here to this battle, but Patrick Smith, now 6 laps to go. Will he hold on, or will Friesen get his first win of the season and make it 6 wins on the year for Velocistar? Who knows, maybe Troxel will come in and make it 6 wins for Velocistar, but Smith, great run off of turn 2. Now through turn 3, we'll have to see if he can close back in. Won't be able to do it too much right there, but we're still far from over next time by. 5 laps to go here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway for Patrick Smith in the number 30.
You have to give him credit, though, because he's under a ton of pressure from that 12 and the 7, and I'm sure all his crew members are telling him that the 35's coming if he makes a mistake. So even, no matter the result of this, you got to give that 30 car a lot of credit for holding on here this late in the going. But
good run off at turn 2 for Nathan Friesen. Turn 2 seems to be the difference maker here, and then you get that run through turn 3 if you can get off of turn 2 well. Friesen gained a lot of time right there on the number 30 of Patrick Smith. We're just going to have to see if he has enough. It's going to be 4 laps to go this time by. Trying to chase down Patrick Smith, Nathan Friesen in the number 12. Friesen going for his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. We're just going to have to see if he can pull it off.
He's getting there. He's getting there. You got to be really careful you don't overdrive this corner, because then that 7 car is going to be right up his back door, even take the spot away. But time's running out here. You got to start closing that gap really soon here to that 30 car if you want a chance. You got to allot yourself a lap or 2 to get around him.
I think he's got the space at this point. He is pretty much there on Patrick Smith, but he just needs to get one advantage through one corner to get to that number 30 machine. Friesen looks like he might get a bit of a tow right there. We'll have to see how turn 2 goes here for the number 12 machine. Patrick Smith, he keeps on hitting his marks. He doesn't have anybody ahead of him. That's really helping him out, and Friesen lost a lot more time that time around. Fisher G may go for second right here, but Friesen's going to continue to hold on to that position. Here we go, 2 laps to go on the International 401 for Patrick Smith. Will Smith get it done here today, or will Friesen get his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory? Seems like it's a little bit difficult to make a pass out there right now. We're just going to have to see if Friesen can get to the number 30. It seems like Friesen is better in turns 4 and turn 1. Oh, here we go, though. Smith did not get a good run right there. Friesen's going to have a huge shot there off of turn 3. This could be the opportunity for Friesen, but he's only going to have one more lap to do it. White flag in the air here in the International 401 at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Smith is going to power it down very well, and Friesen lost a lot of time there. G to the inside for second. Will Fisher G have anything for Patrick Smith? He's now in the second position. Durrani also going to get to the inside of Friesen. I think Friesen used up all his stuff right there. Patrick Smith, number 30 machine. He's got the gap. Fisher G, one last corner, but I don't think he's going to have enough. And how about this performance out of Patrick Smith? Got the race lead and kept it the whole way through. First win of the season, third of his career. Patrick Smith wins the International 401, presented by Motor Racing Outreach at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Fisher G in second. Nathan Friesen in third. Thomas Troxel in fourth. John Arndt. Carter Friesen backing up last week's race victory with another huge run. Cameron Garlington, Brad Stover, Keegan Thompson, and Mark Davidson, the second highest chase driver in the field. And you also have the 77 of Jesse Turner finishing 17th, but the chasers did not have a good day, especially the ones who were up there in the points. Very unique race here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway, and Patrick Smith will go to victory lane here in the International 401. Fisher G, Nathan Faden, Thomas Troxel, John Arndt. Top 5 right there. We mentioned Mark Davidson, the chase driver. Jesse Turner finishing 17th. Reagan Whitlock 21st. Sam Oskin finished in the 23rd position. Nathan Baird finished 25th. Baird will have 22 points on Oskin exiting this race. I don't think Oskin thought that was going to happen. I think Baird thought that was going to happen. Alexander Rowe's going to stick right with Nathan Baird. He's going to be 34 behind heading into Michigan. Bradley Ream is going to lose 3 points off of Nathan Baird. He'll be 55 points behind. But the big story there is Silas Sorta, Harry Jalarvin, and Alonzo. Both of those guys out of the race. They're going to lose a lot of ground to Nathan Baird in the championship, and that is going to hurt him. Shane Lake also is going to lose some time right there. It will still be Nathan Baird, your points leader, and he'll actually extend his points lead of all things at the end of this race, but still got 5 races left to go in the season. Michigan, Watkins Glen, Gateway, Daytona, and Darlington. It's gonna be wild, these next 5 races, and very unique chase schedule continues as we head to the NOFSRL 500 Crown Jewel event here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and let me tell you, my friend, that race is gonna be intense. Got a new version of Michigan. Kudos to Matt for working with the I&I on it. And he worked that thing up so well. You are going to be in store for a great show for the Crown Jewel event of the NOFSRL 500 next Saturday at noon Eastern Time, I believe. Of course, that's pending times with real-life NASCAR races and all that. We're definitely looking forward to that one. It should be a great one there for the NOFSRL 500. Patrick Smith gets it done, though, here in the International 401. A great race here today. Only 2 cautions, which could be the record, actually, for this racetrack. But he'll go ahead and celebrate in the body armor victory lane. And we're going to have to see how these points shake up. Fisher G did a great job. Highest chase driver in the field. He started off the season very poorly. Or should I say, started off the chase very poorly. But he's going to gain a lot of points here. Just going to see how it all goes down as you guys see the points here in just a moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Patrick Smith. At 1 p.m. today on Napa Fan, we got ourselves the Colorado 80K at Pikes Peak in the Haas IndyCar Series. 50 laps there around that 1-mile racetrack in Fountain, Colorado. Should be a good one there for those high-flying, fast Indy cars. Thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of Matt Tuck, here are the points after 5 chase races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. 5 more to go until we crown a champion. And we really still don't know who's going to win this championship quite yet. It's a very tight battle for the points lead. On behalf of Matt Tuck, thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the point standings, and I will see you guys later.